All right, Matt Cashion here, and we're at HQ today. It is that time of year talking about old drum. Old drum are starting to show up in good numbers. They're catching them at night really well right now. But daytime fishing for them is an absolute blast because it is sight fishing. You are hunting those fish, and it is explosive. Old drum fishing is one of the most addictive things that you can get into because it is hooking up to a freight train that is going to run, is going to fight, and you're going to have a blast. Plus, you're hooking into a fish that is incredibly mature. It's incredibly old. You got to take care of them, but it just makes it so much fun. And I just want to talk about the setup that we've got. At Cashion Rods, we designed our popping cork rod. This is the Icon IPC for popping cork 74 HMFS. The H stands for heavy, MF stands for mod fast, okay? Why heavy? Because you are throwing big popping corks most of the time. You're throwing big baits. This is the setup that we use right here, all right? Got a blabbermouth popping cork, just absolute terror coming through the water. A lot of noise, a lot of vibration, a lot going on here that really gets their attention, especially throwing over those bait pods, right? And then with your bait, you've got, you know, this is a 3/8 ounce head right here. This is a Slick Junior bait, and that bait is just coming up, getting popped to the surface, and then falling back through that bait pod. So it's falling down. And you never know, like there are bait pods that you'll notice that look a little bit more nervous. There's some bait pods that you do want to fish. They act like their backs are out of the water. And so this right here is what is falling down underneath them. It's going to get their attention. But this whole motion, right, from casting it, it is a cast that's really big and sweeping. It is not it's not a fast whip, right? There's a lot going on here. It's like a Carolina rig. It's a big sweeping cast, and that's where we like that mod fast action to be able to so it doesn't react too fast. It stays with that slower cast, lets the bait load up, and actually launches it out for you. That mod fast action helps take a lot of the load of casting off of you. Plus, with that heavy backbone, you're not overpowered by this whole big setup. You're not overpowered by the cork and the bait. You're able to control it more where it doesn't load too far behind you, and you're not, you know, your cast doesn't become faster than where the bait's at. So that right combination of action mod fast with the power really helps make it easier to cast. Okay, so you're able to cast it, you hit the bait pod perfect. Now you've got to work this joker, okay? And this thing without the right setup could be a lot like work for sure, because you're pointing the tip down. I'm trying to point it here. You're pointing the tip down and you're just making huge popping actions, okay? Huge popping actions, all right? But that's where that tip is going to be responsive. It's soft enough to be able to give that blabbermouth or give that cork some action, but it's not so hard that it's just going to pull it straight out of the bait pod or straight out of the strike zone, okay? It's going to allow it to stay in the strike zone more. That heavy backbone prevents the whole rod from loading over when you're popping that big cork. The huge thing about this rod is weight, okay? Because you're sitting here all day. It's a full arm, it's a full body motion. Weight is absolutely critical. We do everything we can to make this as comfortable as possible. For you to be able to do this all day, you have to be comfortable with it because it is so much, there's so much involvement with the cast and the action of the bait. The weight, the weight of the rod is paramount. This is our Icon series, so it's built on the CR6R blank platform, which is our highest grade carbon fiber, lowest weight, most sensitive blank that we have, the strongest blank that we have, all right? We go with a double foot stripper guide, again, just for power, okay? Because when that old drum hits it, like I said, it is a freight train. It is taken off, and that's where a lot of the load is located, right there at that first stripper guide. So we want to make sure that it has the power to withstand and it's not popping out. of the off the rod. All right. We go with all saltwater grade components, stainless steel, got our engineered ceramic inserts, very durable. Setup of the rod, right? I love keeping this hook keeper right there. If you can see that, okay? That makes it a whole lot easier when you might just pull up to a bait pod, you want to be able to cast really, really quick, right? Not having to just mess with getting your bait loose. This is very efficient, very fast. We've got our foregrip right here that adds a lot of comfort when you're sitting here popping all day. A lot of comfort. You are just holding it like that. I personally hold it like this. A lot of guys hold it like that, but you're sitting here popping all day. Very, very comfortable. We got our VSS style reel seat. Fits a 4,000 reel perfect. This is a great setup right here for Old Drum. You've got enough line on here, running 30-pound braid all the way up to the blabbermouth, and then from there about a 30-pound leader, fluoro leader running down to the bait. But got plenty of line on that 4,000. It doesn't make it too heavy also for being able to work the bait. The 4,000 reel is absolutely perfect because they're going to take runs. You're going to get line back. They're going to take runs, but you've got enough capacity there, especially with 30-pound braid. Then we're going with a split grip for weight. Again, keep the weight down. But then too, we've got our gimbal butt just for the stand-up rod holders on the boat. So a lot of little features again that add up to make this Cashion Icon popping cork just what it is. And one thing I love, a lot of saltwater fishermen don't, but when you've got a popping cork on here and you're going down the lake, there's a lot of movement right there. So I love to store the rod by wrapping it around the guides, get it good and tight, but then I like to run with a rod cover on it because our rod covers fit over the popping cork and they hold it nice and snug, and there's a snug enough fit right there where this rod cover is not going to blow off. So it's nice and snug, but it keeps that blabbermouth from just chattering all over the place, especially running back into from the boat ramp and so forth. So this is the Icon popping cork series. Also, I want to talk about the Core popping cork series. This is a great option, and we've got some of these in stock. This is the Core popping cork option. This is our inshore, what we designed for popping corks, basically in the Core series. 7 foot, it's a little bit shorter, so you can point that tip down if you're more comfortable doing that. It's built on our CR 5R blank, okay, just one step down from the Icon material, still a raw finish, makes it very durable. Got the double-footed stripper guide. Here we've got a little different handle configuration where we've got a little bit of a foregrip, just with a minimalist style reel seat. That's just the DPSM, just a very straightforward. Again, it's very comfortable if you're gonna hold it like that, or if you're gonna hold it like this, or if you're gonna hold it in front of the reel seat. Very comfortable. Split grip to keep down on weight, and again our gimbal butt so it sits in the rod holder. And of course you got to have that hook keeper right there for the efficiency of getting your bait on and off. The Core retails at $165, the Icon retails at $220. So it's just more a choice of what are you more comfortable with. You know, the Icon is longer at 7.4, makes casting easier, but if you like a shorter rod, the Core is a great option. So Old Drum fishing is addictive. It is time to go. It's time to get out on the water and really get out there and sight fish and hunt these fish.
That would, yeah, that's a monster.
All right, drop the line. Yep.
All right, yes! Awesome! Oh gosh, we're about to break the net.
All right, the net's done. Everybody I know wants that net to break anyway.
There you go. Golly.
Everybody stand back, I'm on boat flip this.